The Florida Everglades stretch across millions of acres of slow-moving water and dense sawgrass. It is one of the most specialized ecosystems on Earth. But right now, a massive predator is moving just beneath the surface, and it was never supposed to be here. In the 1980s, Miami established itself as the exotic pet capital of the United States, importing thousands of foreign reptiles through its ports every single year. Consumers purchased baby Burmese pythons with no understanding of their explosive growth rate. Within months, these snakes reached lengths that made them impossible to keep. When the pythons outgrew their enclosures, overwhelmed owners drove to the nearest swamp and dumped them illegally into the wild, seeding the wetlands with an apex predator. Then, in August of 1992, Hurricane Andrew, a Category 5 storm, tore through South Florida and destroyed a commercial python breeding facility, releasing hundreds of snakes into the Everglades in a single catastrophic night. For years, researchers dismissed sightings as isolated incidents, but by the year 2000, scientists confirmed what they feared. The pythons had become a fully established, self-reproducing population in the wild. These snakes have no natural predators in Florida. A single female can lay up to 100 eggs per clutch. Their camouflage makes them nearly invisible, and they have systematically consumed the Everglades' native mammals into near extinction. Raccoon and opossum populations have collapsed by 99%. Marsh rabbits and foxes are now considered locally extinct across most python-invaded areas. The food web is being dismantled from the bottom up, but the pythons didn't stop at small mammals. They moved up the food chain, successfully hunting and consuming the region's own apex predator, the American alligator, predator-eating predator. In response, scientists launched the Scout Snake program. They capture male pythons, surgically implant radio transmitters beneath their scales, and release them back into the wild. These tracked males then lead biologists directly to hidden breeding aggregations, clusters of females that would otherwise remain completely undetectable in the dense swamp. At night, wildlife officers wade into pitch-black swamp water armed with nothing but headlamps and snake hooks. Their mission? Capture these massive pythons by hand, one at a time. A single 16-foot python generates enough muscular force to overpower 3 grown men. Every capture is a violent physical struggle against hundreds of pounds of raw constricting power. Florida has also mobilized civilian forces. Every year, nearly 1,000 hunters travel from across the globe to compete in the Florida Python Challenge, a 10-day event with $10,000 in prize money on the line. Between civilian events and state-funded contractors, more than 23,000 pythons have been removed from Florida's public lands. But statistical models suggest that number represents less than 1% of the actual population. The state has pivoted to technology. Engineering teams have mounted 850-nanometer near-infrared cameras to patrol vehicles, scanning for python heat signatures that are completely invisible to the naked eye. Biologists are testing the water itself, analyzing environmental DNA to confirm a python's recent presence in a specific area, even weeks after the snake has moved on. The invisible made detectable. But now genetic testing has revealed a new complication. The Burmese pythons are actively hybridizing with the Indian rock python, a smaller, faster species, creating offspring with increased genetic vigor and adaptability. 2025 range data shows these hybrids pushing beyond South Florida's borders, advancing steadily into new counties to the north. With a warming climate removing cold barriers, their expansion may be unstoppable. Total eradication is no longer considered a realistic scientific goal. The state has shifted its entire strategy to permanent damage control and the protection of whatever native habitats still remain. The Burmese python has proven how a single, unchecked invasive species can permanently and irreversibly alter a fragile ecosystem. Florida is holding the line, but it remains to be seen if the Everglades can endure, or if this landscape has already been surrendered to the python.